Hello guys, this is leathertoolz. Today I'm going to take a look at this thread scissors. You can also call it thread nipper. And this is the scissors they sell it from Crimsonhides websites. They are not the manufacturer for these scissors, but it's quite interesting scissors. I've never seen other place sell it. It's a quite good scissor in overall performance, and it's a quite robust and interesting construction as well. So I thought it would be interesting to show you guys. So before I talk in details, I would just like to show you where they sell it. So this is the Crimsonhides website. I'll put the link or the address in the description box or in the comments. It's a crimsonhides.com, and you can go to the tool section, and it's called thread nipper. The price is 14.90 Singapore dollar, but if you change it to US dollar, you'll see it's 11 US dollar. It's really affordable, good price scissor. But the quality of this scissor is not really low. What I mean is that it's quite good scissor, and I've seen this kind of scissors a lot in South Korea, also in Japan. And this is made in Taiwan. So if you see the back side, it's a Fujiya, made in Taiwan. But they try to write some Japanese back here. Also, most things are Chinese because Taiwan speaks Chinese as well. And they explain this what kind of material they use. It's SK5 steel. And the handle is ABS plastic, which is fairly nice blade and good material as well. And SK5 steel, I cannot say it's a high-end, but then I don't want to call it's a cheap trash steel also. It's quite in the middle range of the steel they used. It's quite good steel as well. And as you can see here, this is normal typical cheap scissors made in China. This is from Eagle. And there's quite a lot of difference between these two scissors. So I'd like to show you what's the difference first. So if you open this package, you of course see this scissors, but also you see this interesting sheath. So what they incorporated this was to make it into a necklace lanyard. So if you open it like this, so you get to have this lanyard for your scissors. So you can put your scissor like this, yeah, and then you can hang it on your neck, and then you can carry it out your workshop whenever you need it. Just pull it out and you can use it, yeah. So you can store it like this, very robust, and you can just pull it out. It's quite sturdy holding capability. I think you'll not drop it. Okay, so it's like that. So let's talk about this main thing. So main difference between two scissors is that how thick this blade is. So it's almost twice as thick as this normal kind of cheap scissors. It's quite thick, and the edge is quite sharp as well. It's I can, if you can hear it. Can you hear the difference? So already from the sound, because I have a lot of experience with scissors, this has a more clean sound, which means that it has an even more finer ground on this edge rather than this one. So it has a sharp edge than this one, which always means nice, because eventually this edge will wear out, and you rather have to have a sharp edge than the rough edge to begin with. So this is also nice. And this razor engraving also here, this looks very high end. It's very clean. I see a lot of products and a lot of scissors or knives and a lot of laser engravings. You can tell the quality from in these details, and I can already see that this laser engraving from this black matte finish looks very high end and it's very clean. I liked about it. It's nothing. It doesn't do anything to performance, but then it shows the quality. So Fujiya brand, they make this logo. There's arrow going through this, looks like to be mountain, so with the Fujiya logo, and they also proudly stamp it Taiwan. And I have nothing against made in China or made in Taiwan product, but over the years, from my past experience, made in Taiwan, especially cutlery, shows quite good quality, better quality than made in China one. Of course, like I said before in the other videos, made in China doesn't mean always lower quality. There's always good product also made in China nowadays. Their manufacturing capability has risen up a lot. But in terms of this kind of thread nippers, made in Taiwan quality is much better than the made in China from my experience. Of course, made in Japan, they're also made in Japan, but they're different kind of story. So I will not talk about it here. So yeah, from the thickness, it's more thick on this blade side also as well. It has a very interesting construction. So normally how they manufacture this blade is they stamp it out quite fast and easily, but they made it into here. If you see, there's a step between this blade also. From this body of the blade, there's a jump here, so it's a more extra step. I guess they can make it more the angle they can make it difference by doing this process. It's quite extra step, so that's what I want to say. So it's not just a simple stamped out blade. They wanted to go extra miles. And look at this, how thick the handle is. It's quite comfortable. You can see this size of the thumb part is quite thick. If I compare with the coin. Alright, so okay, I'll bring out 4 coins. So these are 4 coins, our main continents people are watching: Japan, Europe, US, Canada, and this is South Korea coin. And if you compare the size of how thick this blade is, I mean the body is, it's quite nice. Yeah, I think it's one of the best grip for these thread scissors that I've used. So it's relatively quite broad, which makes it less fatigue on the fingers. So I can cut it very easily. And the most important thing that I've noticed from this scissor is that how robust these scissors are made. So I cannot really distort the scissors while cutting, or by just handle. If I just took it, I cannot really unbend what it was made from. So it has a very robust feeling when I cut it like this. But for this kind of cheap scissors, I can just unbend it like the opposite direction. You know what I mean? Like this. So I can see this gap here. And what this matters is, when you're cutting thick stuff, because of this lower resistance to shear stress, like shear torsion like this, you can distort while cutting. Yeah. So while this thing cuts, you can just bend around like this, and then instead of cutting, it will just chew off the material that you're cutting with. So that's the main difference that I've noticed from this scissor, that it's very robust. It doesn't unbend or untwist, because I think this is the mechanism, the spring mechanism that is holding together. This thick plastic also holds it very strongly together, that when it comes to thick products, it shows a much better stability. I will show you in a second. So that is the most difference. And from cutting these threads, to be honest, it doesn't show much difference for cutting threads. I tend to see a sharper edge on this one rather than this one, but both cut them quite nicely like this. Like this. So the end of the cutting thread is quite same for the moment, for short temporary moment, but we don't know how long this will last and how long this edge will last, but I'm pretty sure this edge will last longer than this one. So at this moment, when it's relatively new, I use them slightly. This one I use it slightly, maybe around 20 cuts. Both are relatively new, but I'm sure this edge will cost a lot longer than this one. So, but at the moment it doesn't show any difference, but there's a lot of huge difference between cutting the fabrics. So this is quite interesting material. This is the synthetic fiber reinforced how should I call it, linen or canvas, and I'll show you how it's different. So like from this cheap Chinese normal cutting thread nippers, see, like this, but with this Crimsonhides Fujiya scissors, yeah, do you see the difference? The sound and how difficult it cuts. Yeah, so this shows this is more heavy duty and more robust and has a very good stability. I feel like this is like some kind of one piece of good made, really high quality scissor. Really, it just cuts really nicely. And when it comes to cutting this canvas, though, also I've seen the difference is that when this cuts canvas, it also shows the different stability. So, for example, this Chinese scissors, yeah, it cuts it like this, but this one just cuts it very nicely, very clean. So again, like this, but this one just cuts it nicely, like so. So when it comes to cutting thicker fabrics, this scissor beats this one way better. Okay, so just for comparison, let's cut this paper. So I'm not sure if you have noticed. Let's just try to cut it like double paper. Like compare the sound and how much pressure it shows on I think on the eye also. Like yeah, I think you will know the difference by now by comparison. So I think the price wise, I think this costs 2 times. I mean, this thing is slightly more expensive than this cheap Chinese thread nippers, but I would definitely get this one rather than 2 of these, because I don't know, this has less less uses than this one. This is more versatile, has a high quality, and also don't forget this comes with a sheath that you can use together. And so when you store these type of scissors, you need to make your own case also. But you just have this dedicated case, which is made it really nicely, fits perfectly, doesn't look flimsy. And most of the times, this type of cases also have 2-part cases. So when they use for a long time, it kind of separates apart. But this is just one piece of plastic that holds together the whole thing. So this sheet will last pretty long time also. So it looks clean. I like it this way. So I highly recommend this scissors for your craft. If you're doing fabric work, also this is good. Leather work, thread cutting, fabric cutting is also good. This was Fujiya scissors. They sell it in Crimsonhide. And thanks for watching as always, and I will see you guys next video. Bye bye.